What's up, guys? It's Lo, and you are tuned into the first episode of Wrestling Winedown for 2021. In this episode, I am joined by Iridian Fierro of the Rest Friends podcast to chat about the Golden Role Models. Sasha Banks and Bayley had an incredible 2020, and we're covering it right here. What's next for the two in 2021? We're eager to see, so grab your glass of wine. We're going in for the 3 count. 2020 has come to an end, and it was a golden year for the Golden Role Models. I'm talking about Sasha Banks and Bayley. We know that these two were the inaugural WWE Women's Tag Team Champions last year, and they defended their titles at WrestleMania, lost their titles, and Sasha Banks went on a leave of absence. Many people were wondering what happened. The dirt sheets were coming up with their quote-unquote tea, which wasn't really tea because it was lies, saying that Sasha Banks and Bayley were on the floor crying at WrestleMania when they lost their titles. Sasha Banks was thinking about going to another company to wrestle. We didn't know what was going on. All we had was what the dirt sheets were putting out. During this time, where were your thoughts at? Did you kind of know that Sasha was going to come back? Were you in the boat where you didn't know what was going to happen next?
I was very unsure about what was going to happen with Sasha. There was just a lot going on. I saw her, video that she had in WWE. I think it was like a chronicle that she had in Sasha Banks. And you really got to see, what all these dirt sheets and, rumors did to her mentally. And it was so sad. I remember I teared up. I was crying. I was a little emotional watching this because she was just very depressed and not in a good state. And you saw when she made a comeback, she just had this different attitude, with her. And she seemed like she could finally breathe, like it was okay now. She had a new wig. It was,
yes.
It was a moment. I never wanted a wig so much in my life after I saw Sasha do that. It was just a very different experience. And I was glad that she was back and feeling, this new positive energy.
So we know that the team gained momentum during 2020, but WWE in March, they stopped having fans in the arena, and many people were worried because WrestleMania was right around the corner. They didn't know what was going to happen next. And Sasha Banks and Bayley really, I feel like, showed up and showed out during this year because, they were a tag team, and then they started slowly but surely planting the seeds toward a feud between the two. And then Bayley still held her title. We know Sasha Banks held the Raw Women's Championship for a while. They both were tag team champions, and then Sasha lost her title. Then she started looking at Bayley's title. We knew that sooner rather than later they were going to feud. And of course they did. And it was magical. I wish it would have lasted a little bit longer. But hey, you know what? We can't complain. We got what we got.
But I just really wanted more. I really thought that it was going to be Sasha that turned on Bayley. But we were all wrong. We knew that Sasha was looking, side-eyeing Bayley.
Plotting.
We knew what was going to happen. And then it didn't. We were like, whoa. Bayley was the one to make the first move. Okay, Bayley. I wasn't too sure of how I felt about Bayley's heel character because I had a really hard time adapting to her believability. I was like, you know what, Bayley, I can tell you want to smile. Like, I know you do. You're not selling me on your character, girl. But she really sold me this year. I was 1,000% into, Bayley being a heel.
And I think Sasha's ability to be a great heel also helped Bayley as well in these situations. Sasha just has that natural heel attitude in the ring. And then you see her like on Cameo or doing her WWE cricket appearances, and she's just an angel. I'm like, okay, multi-talented. And she also has an album in the works, which I found out. And I'm kind of like, she just does everything. She's in The Mandalorian. Let's talk about that. Sasha Banks was in The Mandalorian this year. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but this is a huge deal for the WWE. We know that WWE loves them some crossover superstars. So kind of let me explain that. I've talked about it before on here, but in case you are new, we're going to talk about the crossover effect that WWE loves. WWE loves some moneymakers, okay? They don't care if you are on a game show, The Miz, or you are on reality TV, Total Bellas, Bella Twins. You have movies, Triple H, Big Show, Randy Orton, The Miz, John Cena. John Cena has made so much money for WWE. It's unbelievable. Like
this man was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's on Amazon.
Exactly. So WWE loves some crossover superstars, and they've done well with a lot of them, and they've done not so well with some of them. So Sasha Banks is one that we didn't know that she was going to be in The Mandalorian, and it pops up one day, and everyone is like, whoa, and she's going under her real name, which is great because we know WWE loves to say no third party stuff, but they want third party when it comes to their money. She was in The Mandalorian under a real name. It was an amazing opportunity for her to go outside of her horizons and try some acting. And I think that helped WWE a lot. We know that Star Wars is under the whole Disney thing. So, that could help other superstars come in eventually and maybe work with Disney. I think Sasha Banks is one of those superstars that she just does a great job at everything she does. She puts her heart into it. And this, again, was another project that she did that she showed that she was just so interested in it, invested in it, and she did a great job. And WWE loves that because I'm sure they made a cut of the money that she made from streaming. Do we see Bayley doing any type of crossover stuff in the future?
That's interesting. I never thought of Bayley doing something else. It's a possibility, but I know that when they had Total Divas and Total Bellas happen, 4 Horsewomen were very hesitant. They said they didn't want their personal lives out there. I know Becky was especially adamant about no, I'm just going to keep my life, private. I don't know. Bayley could possibly do something. I know I definitely would be interested to watch. I know when Sasha was announced in The Mandalorian, I've never seen anything Star Wars related in my life. Okay. But I watched 2 or 3 episodes because I knew Sasha was going to be in this, and she is fantastic.
See, they got you. That's what they want you to do.
Yes. And that's what they want. They want your interest. Like, oh, okay, maybe if she's here, they will follow her somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And I think that's when they know that they have a star, and Sasha is a star. So I definitely think that Bayley could follow in those footsteps of, maybe there's going to be another Marine. There's a Marine every year. I don't see why Bayley could not be in the Marine,
Some of us stopped watching the Marine after John Cena did it. So I would watch if Bayley was in it. I think it'd be interesting, but long live John Cena as the Marine, because that was, and I had the book. Did you have the book?
Yes.
Yes, I had the book too. I think I might actually still have the book. It was one of those little ones too. It looked like a novella.
Oh my God, yes.
Those dramatic romance novellas that they have, and they're the little books. Those are the juiciest. Don't ask me how I know. Anyway, so we know that Sasha Banks is now the SmackDown Women's Champion, and she has been engaged in a feud with Carmella lately. Carmella just lost her match against Sasha Banks at TLC for a chance at that SmackDown Women's Championship, and many of us wonder what is next for her. We know that, on the other hand, Bayley is engaged in a feud with Bianca Belair. These two are both incredible athletes. You know how much I love Bianca Belair, so I won't spill it right here, maybe later. But I love their feud. I think Bayley has done such a good job using social media to engage her competitors and kind of get them riled up, so when they get in the ring, they have some content to use on commentary. I think that's great. But where is this going? Do you think Carmella is going to end up continuing her feud with Sasha Banks? I mean, I would love to see Bianca Belair in that title picture, but they look so good as a tag team, Sasha and Bianca Belair at Tribute to the Troops, that I also want them to tag team. So I'm very in the middle here. Who do you think would be the best competitor for Sasha Banks going into 2021?
Oh man, I would love to see them in that tag team. That Tribute to the Troops was fantastic. Bianca and Sasha, they're just so beautiful, and they're so athletic, and they can really perform, and they sell you on it. So I would love to see them in a team, and this would be a great way to introduce. I know Bianca can go as a singles competitor, but I really think that she could benefit from a tag team with Sasha, because everyone loves Sasha, and maybe people don't know how to feel yet about Bianca. So maybe putting them together would really help her. I don't know. Maybe I feel like they would give Carmella a belt. So they might have Carmella take it out. As much as I don't want it, WWE loves some Carmella. They gave her the Money in the Bank twice. We can't forget about that. And she was, SmackDown Women's Champ for a really long time. So I think she needed the character change? No. But they might give her the title. I do like this feud that she has with Sasha Banks. So
I feel like Carmella still needs some growth as a competitor. Now, I'm not saying that she isn't good, because I think that her match that she had with Sasha at TLC was a great match. And I think the new character that they have her doing, it's new, but I think it needs some growth before she actually has a championship on her shoulder. I'm still getting Dancing with the Stars, Extreme Expose type stuff. Honestly, I think she kind of was a little bit stronger when she was in NXT. I think people gravitated towards her more. And then when she was first on the main roster, and then, with the addition of James Ellsworth, people were kind of no. And then you had her with the R-Truth, which I think R-Truth is a great person to pair her with, but she was seen as like a comedy sketch all the time. She wasn't taken seriously. And now you have her with the sommelier. Why does she always need a man with her to show that she's a strong competitor? That's the point I'm trying to get at. Even in NXT, she was accompanying Big Cass and Enzo to the ring. Why can this woman not do badass things on her own? Like, why does she always need a man behind her? Why does she need a man to accompany her to the ring or do her dirty business? We know James Ellsworth climbed up to the top of the ladder at the Money in the Bank and gave her that briefcase. Why are we doing this to my girl? I understand she's dressed as a Dancing with the Stars competitor, but she does not need a partner to tango in the WWE.
Oh, girl. Yes, that's the line. That is the headline of this podcast. She does not need a partner to tango. And that's the bottom line because Lo said so. But yeah, I do see where you're coming from. She has been paired with guys all the time. So that's why I'm hoping that she gets this individual run. Do I want her to take the belt off of Sasha? No. I would have Sasha have the belt for the next 600 days, but that's not what WWE is going to do. They need more people in the title picture. And now that Charlotte's back, Asuka and them are teaming together, which I don't know about that tag team either, but Shayna and Nia, they just have a lot of things in the works. So I think they might benefit from putting the belt on Carmella for a little bit.
Well, do you think that they could call up an NXT talent to kind of go over to SmackDown and maybe get involved with Sasha? I mean, we've seen rumors online that it seems like Rhea Ripley was teasing that she was going to be leaving NXT a couple weeks ago when she cut a promo, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, if anyone was to be called up, I would say Rhea. She had a WrestleMania match against Charlotte. I feel like she deserves to be bumped up already.
And I just feel like what's next for her in the WWE, specifically NXT? She's faced everyone. She's really done it all there. It's time to elevate her to that next level, whether it's on Raw or, I hope, SmackDown.
Yeah, she's been the champion before. So, I mean, if we're looking at maybe people who from NXT who could get bumped up, maybe Shotzi, maybe Io, like they've, I don't know, but I really think that maybe Shotzi needs to be NXT champ before we move her up. But they didn't think about that with Bianca, Bianca NXT champ. And that irritates me. And they just moved her up. They didn't give her the opportunity to shine. So I would hope that maybe Rhea is next.
Thank you, Iridian, for joining me again on Wrestling Winedown. Where can the people find you on social media?
You guys can follow Rest Friends on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can listen to our podcast anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcasts. And you can check us out on YouTube because we have some crazy vlogs, some recaps, and, anything wrestling related that you don't get on the podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Rest Friends.
You can find us both alongside Lena on the Battle Gals podcast, exclusively on the Battleground podcast. They are on Twitter at Battleground IHR, in case you want to follow along and see what we're talking about. But we drop shows over there every other Sunday. Before I sign off on this episode, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for listening to Wrestling Winedown in 2020. It has been an amazing experience to work with so many content creators, whether they're podcasters, wrestlers, YouTubers, you name it, to produce these episodes, and I can't wait to see what 2021 brings. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Wrestling Winedown. You can find all of our other episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and wherever else you listen to your podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at WWDCAST. Our new website is also coming soon. Let us know what you thought about the episode. What was your favorite part? We upload episodes with brand new co-hosts every week. Until next time, enjoy your wine and, of course, enjoy your wrestling. Cheers!